Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Greetings to you all. I want to start out with a little bit of an apology. I'm sorry I haven't really kept up yet with you on week 4. Life has been a bit challenging and complicated this last week, and so has my day job. But I'll be catching up in the next few days. Really sorry. I hate to get behind you and the schedule. I know how much it matters to you to have responses from me and your online teachers. So I'm really sorry about this. It's not how I usually work things, but sometimes life happens, as I like to say. We are fast approaching week 5, and I want to take a little bit of time to talk about that. I'd like to get a little bit ahead of you, perhaps, so you can understand what's going on during this last week of our work together. I want to congratulate you before I get into that, by the way, on all your work so far. This is a difficult subject. I know it is for people who are not pursuing it professionally, read for pleasure, or sometimes read only for business. And suddenly here you are taking a literature course and a professor who just thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. So I really appreciate the way you've worked at it, your thoughtfulness. When you're used to reading and watching other kinds of media sources, sometimes this kind of course can be a bit of a challenge. But you've really been game about all of this, and you've worked hard and honestly to get it done. So thumbs up. Good work. Week 5, if you've looked ahead, you'll know already that we move away from the team presentations to individual projects. Be sure to read through the instructions about these individual projects under the individual assignment literature and culture timeline. Read that through. It's pretty detailed and should help you. Before you get into the work of this final assignment, there are some important activities for you that I want you to be aware of. First, be sure that you watch the narrated PowerPoint that's on Moodle titled Literature and Culture. On the syllabus, it's in the vocabulary section. This introduces a range of terms and ideas that are essential to the work you are asked to do this week. Second, before you get into the final timeline assignment, be sure to watch and complete the work called for under the discussion section. It too is titled Literature and Culture, but it's not the same thing. Both of these videos and the assignment will give you the opportunity to think about the theme for the week, which is the relationship between literature and culture. In a sense, we've been exploring this theme the whole time because there's no such thing as art detached from or independent of culture. I think it's impossible to think about it otherwise. Many of you have written about the Hunger Games or the Harry Potter series. I wonder if you've ever thought about why these two series about persons who oppose evil in the world are so popular right now. I wonder if you've ever wondered why they are about young people in opposition to adults or to a state or to the evil world of wisdom, but the adult world. This week is to help you think about how culture might impact the arts and also how the arts might impact culture. You have the opportunity to consider one of 3 related periods in American history that had a profound impact on how we think about ourselves and the world that we live in, the nation that we're part of, and how the arts function in that world as reflectors of the culture, as judges or critics of the culture, or even providers of a new way of thinking about the world we live in. The 3 periods actually are pretty much connected in time. That's on purpose. One of those is the feminist movement in its early days, the Jazz Age, and something called the Harlem Renaissance, which is one of the most exciting moments in the history of American culture, American literature. You will need to do research on the one of these that you choose. And believe me, you will find a great deal of information online about each of these. Choose one of them. You don't have to do all three. Just choose one of them and follow through on the directions for the assignment under Individual Assignment Literature and Culture Timeline, 35 points. You are to produce and post a presentation. A presentation, not just an essay or a report. There are many options, but whichever one you choose, you should attempt to demonstrate how events in history and culture and the arts impact, are connected with, exist in the same time period with each other. I've posted the URL to a fairly long but really interesting video. It's called The Lost Generation, which this biography presentation provides a large overview of the time period that we, you, and I will be working in. But if you Google the history of feminism, or Google the Jazz Age, or Google the Harlem Renaissance, you will find a significant number of very accessible online resources to help you in this process. There are also a couple of URLs that direct you to sites that will help you to build a timeline. But don't forget to address the questions at the end of this. It's not just a presentation with pictures and notes. There are some questions that you really need to answer as part of your presentation. As always, if you have questions about it, you have my phone number. You can text me or send me an email. I'm really looking forward to this last week together and to the work that you will do. Feel free to give me a call, a text, anytime, and I'll respond to you as quickly as possible. Until then, thanks so much for your good work, and I'll be in touch. Bye-bye.